Alright guys, so I was literally just chilling, hanging out, enjoying my day when the OCG was like, you know what if we updated our Forbidden and Limited list? And, while it doesn't really apply to the TCG or even Master Duel per se, the TCG and Master Duel do tend to kind of follow in the footsteps of what the OCG is doing. If the OCG bans something, the TCG might follow suit with banning that same card, like, a month later. Well, not a month, but like 6 months later. And Master Duel, like, kind of is a mixture of the OCG and the TCG, but has like a slant towards the OCG ban list. So this might be important in, like, I don't know, 4 months when tier is just like running rampant over on Master Duel. But obviously I already see that they're banning the tier elements fusion, and they're banning the best Fluandereeze card. But some of the other things I haven't looked at. So this is obviously a huge hit to tier, and this is kind of a massive hit to Fluandereeze. It doesn't exactly kill the deck, but it makes the deck's end board a lot less powerful, right? Because what Fluandereeze is trying to do is they're trying to set up the barrier statue so you can only special summon wind monsters, and so you either just can't pop off for that turn, or you have to commit in like battle phase to, I don't know, say normal summon your Moe to try to beat over the statue. You have to like beat over it with something that has more than 1,000 attack, but then they're also negating activated attack position effects with something like M-Pen. And then they're also going to try and tag out for like Mega Rise. It'll like stack your deck, so you're kind of locked into drawing specific cards that they're aware of, right? And they can kind of put you in top deck mode, but you're in top deck mode where like you're not able to draw any new cards, basically. So kind of a really stressful kind of like game state that they're trying to put you under. Removing barrier statue doesn't kill the deck, like they didn't hit any of the consistency cards, unless, I look at one of the other like limited cards and they actually limited, like, I don't know, like Jack in the Hand. I know nobody plays really Jack in the Hand except for me in my flu list, but just they limit something else, and like maybe they did actually kill the deck. But this is just making the end board far less powerful, because at the very least you can now special summon monsters. You just can't like activate their effects in attack position if M-Pen is on the board, and they're still going to shuffle some guys around, and they might negate one of your dudes with like Mist Valley, Apex Avian. But it makes the end board a lot less powerful. But if they're going to go ahead and ban the fusion for TR elements, or at least the main one that's letting them mill like, what, 8 or something right now is what it allows you to do. If they're going to hit that as well, then Flu as like a counter, I guess, quote unquote, or like a meta counter for TR elements doesn't need to be as strong. So hopefully stuff like Sprite and other things can actually kind of catch a break. Ironically enough, it's weird to say that, like, oh yeah, let's see if Sprite can catch a break. Maybe they can actually kind of come back in and actually play in the meta. Other things like Tri Brigade or stuff like Sword Soul as well, like they actually might be able to kind of like start cracking back in. I say Tri Brigade, some people are like, what do you mean? Well, Sprite Tri is pretty powerful, and they still have Protoss over there in the OCG, and that's really, really good against tier elements, because calling Dark is pretty much like an auto win against them, because like all of their cards are Dark. So yeah, just some good stuff. Just some good stuff for like that. I kind of like that. They're kind of like trying to hit both of the decks, but they didn't hit like, any of like the main deck guys. I think that's because they've already semi-limited. I forget which one it is, but they've already semi-limited like one of them, I believe. So they're trying to like kind of hit the deck while also like not hitting the deck. I kind of like that. All right, so semi-limited, we have Galatea. Galatea is good. That actually makes Orcust a lot more playable. If you don't know what you're trying to do with Galatea, it's actually the same thing they did in Master Duel. Having one Galatea doesn't allow you to do like the little Orcust loop, right, where you're trying to like set up like a Galatea, a Dingirasu, and like the counter trap, the Crescendo, I believe it's called. This actually allows you to do that, because you can kind of recycle through your Galateas. It's just very good that they have two. It kind of makes the loop a bit more playable. Swap Frog, okay, that's fine. I'm assuming that's for the Sprite players, right? That's for them, so they can make like Toad or something. Because I don't think Toad got banned in the OCG. I think it's still legal. Kagari to 2, that's a little scary, because they just printed like 80 new Sky Striker cards, and they're actually pretty good. Kagari is the one that like allows them to get their spells, I believe. I think it's the one that like grabs a spell from the graveyard, I believe, is what this one does, and Shizuku is the one that adds during the end phase, or it might be the other way around. But basically, really good in Striker, because it's getting them their spells, and they really need their spells to actually play. Their spells kind of do everything for them. Yatagarasu semi-limited, didn't this just like fully come off the ban list? Why are they semi-limited? They're like, whoa, like 3 Yadas, that's a little too good, but if we, if we put it to 2, maybe that's good enough. That or maybe they just brought him off and they brought him to 1 and now they're bringing him to 2. Dude, who is playing Yatagarasu? It is a spirit monster. It is not searchable in like any deck that's like remotely decent. Unless there is some OCG list that I don't know about where someone was popping off with Yatagarasu, locking people out of the game. Then just unlimited. It's terrible, right? Right? Okay, so they're bringing right back to semi. I believe it was limited to 1 beforehand. So they're trying to, I guess, slowly let Adventure come back in. I mean, that's fine. Ooh, that launcher? Ooh, Infinity. Sorry, I saw this and I was like, oh, wait, is that launcher, bro? Is that lawn chair? Oh, my lord. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so it's funny because I was having a discussion with a buddy of mine the other day, and we were talking about like this new wind-up deck that's kind of like running around in Master Duel, right? Because wind-up's basically like an infinite advantage engine. Like you can almost do whatever you want with wind-up. Same thing with something like Infernities. Like Infernities are pretty much like an infinite advantage engine, but you just need like a lot of generic dudes to like kind of make a good just generic end board. You could search like 3 judgments over your combo, stuff like that. So 2 launchers. Kind of interesting because I believe Archfiend is sitting at 3 and Launcher is what they had limited. So bringing it to 2 is interesting. They're playing with fire, Konami. You're playing with fire over there. If like the next Visa Starfrost archetype is like the Synchro one, and then they throw this in there, that's going to be a little dangerous. Because I mean, like let's see, Scareclaws was the Link archetype for that storyline. Tearlaments was the Fusion. Kashtira was the Exceed. So we do just need like the Synchro one, and I think Visa Starfrost is a tuner if I remember correctly. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to prep out for that. Okay, so they're gonna semi-limit Foolish Burial Goods, but then semi-limit this. So they're like, okay, so Sky Strike can get a little bit better, but we're not just gonna let them send cards for free. We're gonna limit that to 2. Okay, all right, Konami, whatever you say, man. Raigeki to 2. Ooh, okay, let's. The board breaker's a little strong, bro. We don't want to be like the TCG making it 3 Raigekis. I guess they see it in Master Duel and they're like, man, we brought Raigeki to 2 and nobody's playing Raigeki, so we're just going to bring it to 2. Who cares? Live stage. Ooh, we're going to make easy Dragoons once they unban Dragoon over here in the OCG. Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh my lord, they're bringing back Ancient Fairy Dragon. So this is basically terraforming, but it's in the extra deck. It's pretty insane to get you any field spell. I guess they're like, well, I mean, you're not going to make it into your elements or anything because, you know... Oh, whoa. Hold on. I know I'm skipping over the Kashtira guys, but they limited... just ignore everything I said earlier about this. No, they are trying to kill tier elements. They're like... I think it's... Is it Hobness that also got limited? I forget. They limited or semi-limited another one. And they banned a fusion. I think they limited in some way the field spell. And now they're hitting 2 of the... Tier might be dead. Not like dead, but like it might just be like a very small package that you run in like certain decks. Gosh, Tier is also getting hit. They're really trying to like make way for something new to come out, huh? Because they're like Kashtira and Tier and Flu, I think are like the best decks right now over in the OCG, right? Tier Elements is still like pretty much the best deck, and I believe it's like a Kashtira Tier hybrid that is like the best deck right now. Like you kind of combine them together. Don't ask me how that works because Kashtira wants to banish everything. Tier wants to be in the graveyard. Don't ask me how they slam those 2 decks together. It just like it's like trying to throw blue eyes and red eyes in the same deck. I don't know how it actually works. None of the cards should work together, but I guess some big brain of the OCG figured it out. I don't know who would have that idea, but it looks like they're trying to make way for something new because they're eliminating all these. Okay, they saw the TCG brought this guy back, so looks like they're a little bit more reserved though, because the TCG we have it at 3, they have it at 1. They're limiting Pizza Hut. Okay, so I guess they're like big DD Crows is not, it's too good. They're bringing out Change of Heart. That is a Kashtira spell if I recall correctly. Bro, we haven't even got this in the TCG and it's already limited in the OCG. They're bringing back Token Man. That's a little ballsy. Branded Fusion to 1. Okay, so it kind of makes a little bit of sense, right? They're like, okay, we're going to hit all these guys, but we don't just want to go right back to like branded Despia format. So we're also going to hit Branded Fusion. Okay, like this is kind of making some sense, right? They're kind of like bringing up some other decks that they can kind of come back and they're a little bit stronger, weakening a lot of the other decks and trying to prevent like other of the like best decks from being like too good when everything else gets like powered down again. And then Dragon Buster to 3. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Pens are going to be getting a little bit of a buff. Okay, that's cool. So they really are trying to bring Adventure back. Thank you for bringing the PK guy back. Please, thank you. Like, look, I can be trusted, Konami. I don't want to make Ronga Miniad. I just want to make a big Arc Rebellion dragon and punch people, okay? I just want to make dragons. That's all I want to do. You could trust me with Phantom Knight cards. And then Eld Elixir is unlimited. Okay. So they're trying to, like, keep Lich in the game as well. That way, like, Lich, I'm guessing, can, like, counter anything that might be too, like, terrible that comes off. But overall, this is kind of interesting. Like, I came in here just being like, okay, I've heard that, like, Tyr and Floowandereeze got hit, although kind of a little bit of a goofy take over here where I'm like, yeah, dude, like, the Tyr elements, like, they're trying to hit the deck, but they're not trying to kill it. And then meanwhile, I'm sure, like, a lot of viewers are just, like, pointing over here, be like, he doesn't know! He doesn't know! And then I got down here and I was like, man, all right, they did hit him. But what does this mean for, like, the TCG and the OCG? Well, probably needs, like the TCG ban list in, like, February. Probably gonna have some Tyr hits, I would imagine. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Tired, but probably some Tyr hits. And then Master Duel. I don't know. Master Duel, I'm expecting whenever they drop, like, Sprite or Tyr element, that they're just going to, like, do the adventure thing where they just hit them before they even drop, right? Like, they're just going to be like, okay, like, Havness is already limited to 1. We're limiting the field spell to 1. You know, like, we're just going to, like, put a fat stop to all of that. Like, I don't know. They might either limit some of the Toad stuff, limit some of the Runic stuff, and then put out Sprite. I'm imagining something like that will happen. That way Sprite also isn't too dominant. But yeah, pretty nice trending Ancient Fairy Dragon. That's really funny. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.